Hello.
Hey everybody!
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello.
It's Wednesday. It's time for
How you
Mass Effect
doing?
Aftermath again.
Yep.
Yeah,
Bratata.
boy. What's up? How you doing?
We have a big, uh, probably going to have some interesting stuff happen tonight, I think.
Oh yeah.
Group
Oh God.
finally finished the firefight outside in the camp. Um, Interrogated a lone survivor who kind of in fear told you guys where to find some of the information you were looking for in a building right next to you. Actually, was the officers' quarters, and um, kind of amidst the rubble and the blood and the melting snow from the firefight you just had, Omega and McGowan entered the officers' quarters. Omega with some difficulty, triggering a security measure on the computer. Um, Found a great deal of information, more than you had time to look at right now, but you did find a lot of the information that Wayland Gree, the Batarian member of the Smugglers Guild, had asked you to find. You'd also found the officer's key card, which was kind of the bonus. So having found all that information, there was a small discussion about whether or not that was sufficient, um, whether or not you wanted to continue and kind of do some more damage to this place, kind of trying to set the LMD back as far as possible, as it was an optional request, you know, from Wayland. Do as much damage as you can, but he didn't want you to treat it like a suicide mission. Um, so, with information in hand and kind of a very quick respite from the battle, you went straight into the glacier cave, having learned that from this information that you downloaded, there's some kind of Prothean object. It was not non-specific what this object was, but a Prothean object, construct, device of some kind is deeper inside this glacier, and that's been the reason the LMD have become so interested in a place that they previously hadn't really expressed much interest in. They'd been here for 7-8 years with a small outpost in Port Fulstone, and never really, it never really amounted to much. There'd been a small detail stationed there permanently, but maybe a dozen people. But they found something, and this Prothean object seems to be the motivator. There's kind of the leader of this whole group, this whole battalion, task force, whatever you like to call it, stationed further in, and you have found some laborers. As you entered, you had engaged in another quick firefight, a fairly easy and decisive skirmish, lasting no more than a few seconds, really, as you made your way in, kind of just cutting down the enemies that were here. There were two civilians, a human and a Solarian, both of whom were kind of dressed in kind of chain gang type, kind of sci-fi chain gang type garbs, and his yellow jumpsuits connected together by kind of a crackling beam of energy from the, kind of like hard light omni tool kind of quality, that aesthetic. And we pick up as you guys have just finished clearing out this entry chamber into the dig site. There's a dead Varen. There are 4 dead LMD troopers, and there's a 5th one who's gasping in going through his dying breaths, kind of bleeding out at the far end of the room. And next to you, Tork and Rhea, there are these 2 civilians or workers, laborers, both not cowering helplessly in fear, but definitely kind of wary of the situation. Like, you guys just charged in here and absolutely just smashed these guys. and you did it in a pretty brutal fashion as well. Tork, I think you blew a guy's chest open with your shotgun. McGowan, you did like a sweet flying ground pound like strike. There's a lot of carnage coming through here, and so that's where we pick things up. McGowan, you're kind of coming to your feet after your havoc strike. Rhea, you've been kind of like following up in the back, taking shots over Torque's shoulders, kind of acting more in a support role for the time being. And Alpha, you and Omega, and your temporarily hijacked mech are, now kind of idling in this moment where you've finished the fight. So with that all in mind, what do you guys want to do?
McGowan's going to go over to the guy on the ground who's bleeding out and just finish him off with his Omni blade.
Okay. So you walk over and just activate the Omni blade, slice his throat. He dies as blood starts to pour out from underneath the helmet.
Maybe we could have gotten something from him, but he probably was just going to tell us, watch out for the guys ahead.
Alpha to make a work on removing the body from the drill of the Ymir.
Yeah. The construction mech had impaled the final enemy with its drill before we left off last time, which has been a pretty epic final kill, at least for that encounter. So you pull it off. It's again, this isn't like an old-timey spiral drill. This is like there are like razor teeth kind of in what visually looks like a kind of an odd configuration, but there's clearly some engineering at hand here, kind of designing it for some optimum function. So it's like it's a pretty cruel looking implement. Honestly, it doesn't look very. It's not like a nice clean thing. It's pretty, and when you're pulling the body off, it's kind of like it doesn't slide right off. You kind of have to like pull one side and then pull the other side, and then pull one side and pull the other side, as it's kind of like getting stuck on the blades. But eventually you pull it off and it flops to the ground, and there's just this like 8-inch hole like through the chest where the drill came through.
How are these prisoners looking?
All right, like you just kind of doing a quick look, or you want to make like a medicine check?
Just a quick look. Like, are they scared? Like, how are they?
They're scared. They look. Well, go ahead and make an insight check. An insight check for this, since you're trying to kind of read people.
That's gonna be 17 total.
Okay, they look pretty distressed. Not so much like distressed that, oh gosh, you've killed the soldiers that were standing over them, but more just like these people who just came in here just like slaughtered 5 dudes in like the blink of an eye. And so they're also very tired looking. They're they're dirty. I wouldn't say filthy. They're working in a glacier. They're not working in like a mud pit or a quarry, but they're still pretty dirty looking. There's dirt all over their jumpsuits. The jumpsuits are designed for the anatomic proportions of the individual, so they're not all like super uniform. They're the same color, but the Solarian is wearing a jumpsuit that fits a Solarian, and the human is wearing a jumpsuit that fits a human.
Solarian, you say?
So there's a Solarian and a human. Both appear to be male, although with Solarians it's pretty hard to tell genders just by looking at them. They look tired. They look frightened. Again, like alarm, I think, is maybe a better word than frightened. They're very shocked at what they just saw, because you guys just charged in and dispatched these guys easily.
I want to talk to him.
All right.
Don't worry, you two. We're not here for you.
kind of look at each other, again frightened. Like, you're here for the thing they found in the deeper in, aren't you?
Yeah, the thing that they found. What can you tell us about it?
I think it's Prothean. I think. I don't know much about it, honestly. Like, I don't know much about history. I've been a laborer most of my life, so but there's a lot of commotion about it. The officers are talking about it a lot, and it seems like it's a big deal. I don't know. They're working us pretty hard in here.
You two were the excavation crew?
There's more than us. There's more further in. They've got us all working here almost around the clock, trying to dig this place out, expand the walls, see if they can find any more of what they found.
Alright, well, it's gonna get bloody in there. We're gonna clear it out. You guys should do the same.
Alright, well, if it's all the same for you, I think we're looking for some payback.
Yes!
Look at each other. It's like, I don't know what you're doing here, but if you're here killing troopers, I want in.
Very well.
We'll follow behind. You guys seem to kind of know where we don't really, they don't really let us use guns or anything. So we'll let you go ahead, but we'll grab some weapons here and we'll follow behind. We'll see if we can get some of the other workers out, and maybe we can come up with a plan. I mean, I don't know what we'll do if we do get out of here, but I guess I wouldn't mind seeing all these bastards to get their due.
Well, and then I put my hand on the closest guy's shoulder, and I just look him really, dead in the eyes and say, "Don't get in my way or I'll splatter you."
Oh, we don't. We'll stay in the back. Don't worry about us.
I give him a good Krogan smack on the shoulder, and then walk on.
Yeah, the human kind of his shoulder kind of gives underneath the strength of your gesture.
No, I was trying to be menacing towards the Solarian.
I mean, we're still chained together.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a great way to unchain.
It's like an Omni tool thing, so it's not
I'll use
physical.
my Omni tool to cut them out.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Well, it would be roll an engineering check. No, do an engineering check for this, because this would be more like a hacking thing, but it's not really hacking.
Oh my god! Imagine getting smacked on the shoulder by Tork, and then to Geth Varen stroll on over to unchain you. That's awesome.
One of them just basically opens up his mouth.
Yeah, and they look at
and torch style flame comes out.
You're just like, oh!
They look and like, what are those things?
Dirty 20.
Okay. They very in a way where it's almost like they're not really acquiescing to you, but they're more just like they don't really know how else to respond. They let you go through, and you use your Omni tool to shut the program down that's linking them together. And the chain kind of, or like the it's not really a chain, more like the line of energy. Kind of it just kind of fades, kind of sparks, crackles for a bit, and then disappears. It's like, all right, yeah, we'll take a look around, see what we can find here. We'll catch up in a little bit if that's all right with you. You guys seem to know what you're doing a little bit more than we do. So, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So they go over to the bodies and start kind of looking through, kind of picking up the rifles, kind of giving them, kind of testing them. These guys, and just by a quick cursory glance, you can tell, all of you, that these guys probably have never used a gun, or if they have, it's been a very long time and they're out of practice.
Not gonna be the biggest help.
You know, I would say, like McGowan, you would know that like laborers like this, they're basically raised like this. Like there's like a worker caste.
They probably fired at critters, just not at people.
So like, well, I mean, it's even that might be a lot because the LMD, the Sankey Mining Directorate territory is pretty metropolitan, actually, especially for the terminus systems, especially like deeper in to their controlled territory. And they run a pretty tight ship. So there's not a lot of, you sort of are assigned things, and that's what you do. You know, there's not really a lot of independence. So if they've never used a gun before, like there's a good chance that these guys haven't. And I would say that like McGowan is the only person who would know any of that offhand. The rest of you guys don't have a lot of experience dealing with these factions.
I'll sort of give him the rundown on how to, eject a thermal clip. You know,
As I'm walking away, I'm going to shout back to McGowan, make sure they know not to shoot me in my back.
I mean, kind of look at you, uncertain McGowan, like, yeah?
yeah, just when in doubt, keep your head down.
Sounds good. Yeah, like that. And you know, the human has been doing most of the talking. The Solarian hasn't really been speaking all that much. He's been kind of silent and stewing a bit.
Oh.
There's kind of there's a palpable like rage coming out of him. So he's not been speaking much, or at all. Actually, he's been pretty kind of focused on getting up and walking around and kind of looking over the equipment and stuff. And he's looks like he's in a zone of some kind. So, anything else you guys want to do before continuing on?
I feel like we should not mess up with the zone though.
You should continue further on before the guards further in have a chance to fortify.
Yes.
I actually want to address the Solarian.
Okay.
You seem a little hot-headed there, Solarian. Making me nervous.
Why? Why would I make you nervous?
I just want to know what's on your mind.
Well, I have a chance to kill the people who've enslaved me for most of my life. So, make of that what you will.
Oh, I thought you were beefing with me because I'm a Krogan. No, we're good. Carry on, everyone. Just making sure.
He gives you a nod and kind of starts to parrot what McGowan was kind of showing them, kind of checking the different things on the weapon, checking the thermal clip and stuff, kind of getting used to the weight of it.
Alpha and Omega will take the Ymir and start going further down.
Okay. So you guys are kind of making your way, moving over towards the door there. What's the marching order with the mech in the front, Alpha and Omega behind? How would you guys like to proceed here?
I'll just move up into the pack.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it like a little flying V, little Mighty Ducks action.
Flying V!
Well, I don't know if you guys have room for flying V in here, but we'll keep it in mind for another.
Flying Eye!
Also, I think your flying V is flying V in two different directions, so it's more of a flying diamond.
Can I do what I was doing before, where I was like right up on the neck?
Sure, you want to kind of get in there next to Alpha?
Yeah, because I saw
While
the shotgun out.
Sorry, while we're walking, I'm going to use a meta-gel on myself.
Okay, go for it. It'll be, 2d4 plus 2 for the regular.
Yeah.
For the Reggie...
Ew, I only got 6 back.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna use
sometimes.
another one.
All right.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh yeah, 2d4 plus 2. All right. So you guys kind of start moving up. I will have, let's see, McGowan and Alpha both please roll for perception checks since you guys are leading the group.
But Mojo's all gone. That's a 4.
A dirty 20.
Nice.
Okay. I mean, I would say, like, first off, as you guys move into this next chamber, all of you would notice that the volume in here increases pretty dramatically. It sounds like there's power tools, like digging equipment and stuff going. And you after the fight, you would have picked up on it, but kind of when the guns and everything were going off, there was loud noises close by, and so it was kind of drowning out these more distant sounds. But it sounds like, up in the next chamber ahead, whoever is in here is working on, using digging equipment, and kind of there's a lot of noise, and so even, as you're moving, you would notice that, like, a lot of your the basic sort of regular sounds of movement are drowned out by this noise. It's like kind of construction site sort of quality. It's lots of loud machinery and things like that.
Is that a corner there, or does it go up still?
It goes up as well. Yeah, it goes up here.
Gotcha.
You see?
Okay.
And I would say, like, that's probably what you guys would see from your position without going any further forward anyways.
Okay.
Just from the line of sight stuff. Like, you wouldn't be able to see around, I'm making my laser pointer, you wouldn't be able to see around this rock. Like, this is kind of going from the floor to the ceiling. And the ceiling in here is probably about 15 feet high.
Gotcha.
Like 15, 20 feet. So yeah, you wouldn't be able to see around the rock here, but you'd be able to see kind of everything up, this side of the green dot. You'd see there's a door over here, kind of it looks like it's been installed into the ice. It's like kind of a mechanized sliding door. Kind of alongside some of the crates here. There's a couple more of these lighting fixtures with the generators. And as you continue moving into the room, I'm grabbing this thing for some reason. Okay, sorry. Sometimes Arkenforge has a little bit of a hitbox problem. So moving up into the room, the noise, as soon as you enter into the space, the volume increases pretty dramatically. It's echoing off the inside of the cave walls, and stepping in here, you see, with their backs turned to you, Alpha and McGowan first. You see 2 LMG troopers, their backs to you. They look like they're kind of like talking to each other, presumably like communicating through their helmet radios because of the volume. And you see 4 more laborers. There's a couple of humans. There's a Turian and a Batarian in there. It looks like their labor force is kind of a mixed bag. It's low class citizens, as you would know, McGowan, from your days kind of running and gunning around the Terminus systems. Yeah. So how do you guys want to approach this situation? There's a few enemies in here. There's a few more friendlies. Let's get you. Oh, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see yourselves in the whole room there. And then, of course, yes, to the left there, as you pointed out, Tork, there's a passageway. It kind of looks like it doesn't double back, but it kind of comes around and goes down. And you would even see, you have to move up a little bit further to see any farther down the tunnel. But yeah, that's what you got.
Do you wish to take a shot before we move in within visual distance?
First, I want to switch back to my Typhoon, N7 Typhoon, and I want to just poke my head down that hall to see if I can see anything.
Okay, so McGowan, you move over there, kind of sliding along. And you see a fork in the road.
Sorry in advance. This is like not good. Like that.
You see kind of a forked pathway there. Goes off, splits off in two directions.
But there's nobody down there, right?
You don't see anyone at the moment, no.
Okay. I will over the Omni tool so that we can hear it in helmets, but it's not super audible with all the other noise going on. I'll say there's 2 enemies up ahead. We should try to take them out quickly and relatively quietly. We don't know who else is in it.
Who has sniper rifles?
Me. But I only get 1 shot with it, so we're gonna need a plan for the other person.
Given the distance, a standard rifle will probably be able to reach the other one. If Rhea wishes to shoot at one, and then the other 2 of you wish to shoot at the other, we might be able to take them before they see us.
I do want to move. Yeah, I'll move up so that I'm kind of behind.
I
have
could
line
say,
of sight on the.
Move up
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
like
yeah.
both of us could get up behind that rock.
You could. Yeah, I mean, you could crouch down behind that generator. Like the generator, it's like the size of an outdoor AC unit. So you could crouch
Yeah.
down, but you could get a little cover from that for sure too.
Okay.
There's so many different sounds.
Yeah, so you kind of crouch down there. You'd be getting a. You'd both be getting +2 to your armor class.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay.
Tork, Alpha, Omega,
Luke out.
Mech. What do you guys want to do here?
At this point in time, since they're going to take surprise sniping shots at them, we're just going to stay back so we don't attract attention.
Okay. Tork.
I'll from what I can see, are their backs still turned?
Yeah, they haven't changed their position. They're focusing on the workers. It looks like the laborers.
I'm gonna try and run up behind that middle A37 and take cover
Okay, go ahead and make a
stealthily.
make a stealth check then, please. So you're running. You'll get over there easy enough, but do you do it without being noticed? That's the question.
So does anybody else hear the words Krogan and stealth check in the same sentence?
Yeah.
And think this is not going to be pretty?
It's a 14.
It's probably better than McGowan's because at least he's not wearing heavy armor.
Yeah.
Fair.
14.
It is
Yeah,
loud here.
There's clearly like the noise in here because the noise is very loud. It's
Yeah.
like walking into a warehouse with like machines going
Running
and like
machines,
saws
yeah.
going. Yeah, you have like it's loud. And it's not deafening, but there's a lot of noise.
That's what I was hoping
Yeah,
for.
you're able to just like run across. You run carefully, but you don't even really have to like get low or anything. You're able to just quickly dart across.
He just makes like a lot of inadvertent struggle noises.
It was like,
I'm gonna throw on my
running.
glasses quick.
running. Okay, so you guys are in position. Doesn't seem like anybody has noticed. You do see at this time, I guess you would see one of the guards kind of walk over to check on one of the workers who looks like he's kind of been moving a little slowly. You see him stand over, and you don't really hear anything, but you see him kind of like, he doesn't kick him really hard, but you see him kind of give him the toe of his boot as this Batarian is kind of leaning against the wall. With the kick, he kind of stumbles and drops to one knee. His tool, he's got like it's not really a tool. The guys are actually using their these Omni tools that are just kind of like melting away at the ice. or a couple of them have these kind of drills that are like making all the noise and stuff in here, that are kind of like grinding away and cutting away chunks of ice that one of the other guys is then melting to kind of disperse to kind of clear the space.
Sick.
Very well.
It would be most advantageous if we would wait for both of them to gather together and then shoot both at the same time.
Your voice mod is not working. I meant to tell you that earlier. I keep
That's fine.
forgetting. Just so you know. So you know.
Actually, let's see. How about this one? Is this one not working?
It's also not working.
That's all right. Oh,
well.
okay.
It would probably be to our advantage if we wait for both of them to get together and then shoot both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
And you see, yeah, so you wait just a little bit longer, and while you guys are kind of having this exchange, actually, the second guy does move over, kind of now. His attention is also drawn, seeing his comrade kind of like focusing on this other guy. In other book, he doesn't do anything. He kind of just like stands there, as like kind of like behind him, while this Praetorian is kind of like back to the wall, kind of like looking up at them, kind of hands raised, shielding himself.
Oh, if they mean they're both around the corner.
I can still see the one guy, right?
You would be able to see both of them, yes. Tork is going to have a little bit of a hard time seeing them now, but McGowan and Rhea, you both have clear lines of sight.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I'm gonna have Omega get within line of sight of well. I forgot his overload has 130 feet.
Okay. I would say if it's 130 feet, all he'd have to do is like move up to here.
Yeah, just to make sure I'm not trying to shoot through one of them.
Yep. And these guys would have a little bit of cover from your angle there, Omega, because you're like right on the edge of the cover there. But we'll get to that one.
That's fine.
If it's relevant at all.
Okay, I thought that was a full wall around there. Yeah. If
no.
It's
Yeah.
not,
Sorry.
then...
I should clarify. The yellow boxes once again are full cover, so they're like 6-7 feet tall, and the ice is half cover, so it's waist high or thereabouts.
Well, at this point in time, we can see them. So if you guys want to take the shots, we can take the shots.
No time like the present.
Yep. Let give Tork a chance to come around the corner so he can shoot too, if you want to.
My idea is sort of to wait and make sure that they're dead, and then I can charge.
Okay.
Tork is clean up.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, Rhea, do you want to shoot the one on the left, and then McGowan and I will shoot the one on the right?
Got it.
Good plan.
Okay.
All right.
Go for it.
Take a shot in 3, 2, 1.
Nice. Well, maybe. Let's see. Yeah.
That's a 21 to hit for McGowan.
Okay.
17 for Omega.
Okay.
16 for Rhea.
All three of you will hit, so go ahead and roll damage. And we had McGowan and Omega. We're taking the one on the left.
Yes.
No, I think it's
Yes.
well,
Or I think it was we're on the right. Rhea was on the left.
Okay.
I took the one on the left.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Plus 2d10.
Okay. So I did. Oh well, they have to do a con saving throw.
That's going to be 10.
Okay, so that fails. So they took 13 points of damage.
Okay. And then
who is
And they're
giggling
taking
over there?
hand.
McGowan and Alpha.
I did 14 points of damage.
I did 11.
Okay. Well, we'll start with Rhea. Describe your killing shot.
Yeah.
Ha!
Because these guys, they don't have their tech armor up, so the defenses are way down.
Well, yeah, basically I would think that she would, we obviously did a lot of eye contact, and then there goes Tork running across the thing, and we're all like, luckily that was successful. So yeah, we do, like, I check in with McGowan, check in with Omega, and we, agree and take our shots. So
Your
I hit
shot
him,
goes
I fucking get him.
through the back of the head. You aim it so
Yeah.
that so that the shot, when it goes through, it hits the wall instead of the. It's like a close call. It's like a really precise, like badass sniper shot.
Yeah, and it hits
missing
just slightly before theirs, so his buddy has that "what the fuck" moment.
Yep, exactly. And then Tork and Alpha or Omega's overload goes off.
McGowan and Omega.
Yeah, not me.
Sorry, McGowan, and McGowan, you're doing with your rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys together get some. He looks over as his buddy dies. He gets shocked, and then he then drops as well. Their shields just shattering. And you do see there's a brief second, Rhea, where the guy that you shot, you can tell that he's not dead, but he's like on death's door.
Well, I mean, he failed that con save, so that harpoon's about to explode.
He'll bleed out, and
in his head.
Yeah. And I mean, just go ahead and roll the damage for that, since we're kind of doing loosey-goosey rounds here, and then when that comes around.
Well, would any of them have done any, like?
Well, I mean, he's incapacitated. He's at like 2 hit points. He's like not dead, but basically dead.
10 points of damage.
Yeah. So whenever that comes around, by the time you guys get over there, he's bled out. So with those shot, the guy, the Prothean there, kind of back to the wall. All of a sudden, the 2 guys in front of him just drop dead. Blood spattering the walls on either, like kind of around him, and kind of some of it gets on him too, because he's right there, And he looks around.
I'm imagining the hit and drop, the drop, and then the mini explosion in his head that like killed him from the harpoon. That'd be a lot to look at.
Yeah, especially if you're already like shooting your pants.
Yeah.
But he kind of looks up, and Rhea and McGowan, you guys aren't really like hiding at this point, so he kind of like looks at you guys, and like the other guys in the other room, he stays where he is, and he looks terrified.
I'll park the Ymir where it's at, and Alpha will start heading over to them to unchain them.
Okay, so Alpha, you kind of go over and start.
I reload my gun.
Thing. Go for it. Remember to remove a thermal clip.
Yes.
Whenever you reload.
McGowan is going to go up, search the bodies for thermal clips and metagel.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation, you say?
Yes, sir.
It's like fine, I think.
Tork, what are you doing?
Oh, just let me take a look down them stairs. Stealthily.
You like through the hallway there, like down here.
No. Just up above me. Yeah.
That's a door. It's a door.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it's a closed like sliding door.
No, I'll just gun to my or hammer to my shoulder. I'm just gonna saunter on into like the central area there. Yeah.
Okay. So, McGowan, what did you roll?
15.
15, easy enough. You find, let's see, on each, you're looking for metagel. You say you don't find any metagel.
I was looking for ammo and metagel.
Yeah, but you do find 5 thermal clips between the 2 of them. Yeah, no metagel here.
So I'll take 2 of those thermal clips, and then I'll pass 3 over to
and just so you guys know, you can only carry a maximum of 10 thermal clips at a time unless you get armor upgrades.
Does that include the thermal clips in the weapons?
No.
10 additional.
Yeah, it's 10 additional, including what's in your gun.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you don't have the room for it, you don't have the room for it. But like I was saying earlier before we started, it's not going to be too difficult to find thermal clips after a firefight. So
yeah,
it's not something you should have to worry about
fighting
too
humanoids
much.
Anyway.
I really am only bringing it up because I want you guys to get in the habit of remembering that you have to reload, like more than anything.
Yeah.
Because that is and again, like we talked about, reloading is an action. Because there's a bit we've been running with the house rule that it was a bonus action, but it's an action now because one, it's written as an action, in the ME5E handbook, but also because there are items and upgrades that give you the ability to reload as a bonus action. By making it a bonus action as a standard rule, it sort of negates the usefulness of those items. So reloading is an
Oh, so
action,
you're
so
gonna-
remember that going forward as well. I should put that.
I want that item.
Yeah,
I think
gonna
there's-
do
there's-
that.
Me too.
Go, like if you want to look up specific items, I'm not necessarily guaranteing that I'll put things in that you specifically
Yeah.
ask for. But if you look things up and find specific names for stuff, then I kind of can get a sense for what you want, what you think would be good for your character and things like that. So, if you guys find stuff, if you guys browse through the items and you find things that you like, don't be afraid to message me and say, "Hey, this is kind of cool. I like this. Maybe I might be able to find this someday."
I have one. I have one on my list already. I'll just make the
do.
wish list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Go ahead. And again, I won't promise that you'll find all of those things, but at least I'll have an idea of what you're kind of looking for. So, anyways, moving on. Go ahead and make that. We'll say, you know what, Alpha, you can use the key, the key code you found on the officer to deactivate
Ladies.
these
Makes
chains.
sense.
So it's easy enough. So you go kind of one at a time, kind of turn off their shackles. You see they're kind of connected in pairs. So
Okay.
there's always so that there's always one person. There's a kind of weird buddy dependency thing going on here. So what do you guys want to do? There's a door
Mhm.
over on the one side there, and you've got four
Bras.
four more of the workers, and at this time the other two kind of follow in, kind of cautiously peeking around the corner, kind of waiting by the mech.
Should we just kind of propose them the same thing since they're buddies
I go-
are with us?
Go through and tell them they have two choices. We are here to eliminate the ones that kept them captive so they can join us, or they can go
or
home.
leave. Yeah.
Or die.
The Turian.
I
Okay,
feel
three
like the
choices.
robot dog saying that would probably be the. Wait, no. I'm super persuasive. I want to say.
Yes, you are.
The Turian is a female, and you can tell the difference between Turian males and Turian men and Turian women because Turian men have long, kind of bony crests that come off the back of their head, whereas females they do not have that. But otherwise, there's basically no difference in the appearance. But this Turian female is kind of eyeing you, and she's over in the corner. Well, she's over here. She's
Well, I'm gonna go talk to her.
So you make your way over to her. She doesn't she's not mean mugging you, but she's very nervous. You can tell she's
Wary.
nervous. She's also untrusting and wary. Yeah, that's a good word for it. She's kind of giving you a little bit of a side eye, kind of okay, who are you?
Yeah, I've lowered my weapon and I virtually say the same thing that Omega just did, where I'm like, we mean you no harm. We come here to destroy the people that kept you captive. If you choose to fight with us, so be it, but otherwise you can go home to your families.
She looks at a couple of the other workers who are, kind of stretching their legs, taking stock of things, still kind of confused about what's happening. And
Do
she
you want me to roll persuasion? Because it's nuts.
yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and roll a persuasion
Okay,
check.
I got a 27.
Damn!
She kind of looks at you. She says, "Well, it's either considering that the only place that I've ever had as a home is the place that I've been enslaved for my whole life. I think I'll take my chances with one of those weapons." She walks over and picks up one of the guns, and she sees the other two guys kind of stand their arms. Who, the three of them kind of look between each other, and they come over as well.
Do I know any you said Turian, right?
Yeah.
Do I know any Turian signs of respect or something to just kind of symbolize?
A lot of the Turian stuff is more like actions than words. Turians judge each other well, the thing is too, that's the hierarchy. That's the Turian hierarchy culture. These are Turians who have been raised in the LMD, the Lusankian mining director culture. They're not from the hierarchy. So,
Can I help her up then or do something?
Yeah. So what I would say too, one of the things I'm trying to do with like a lot of the aliens and stuff. So I'm trying to make them be less like homogenous, like let's them all kind of feel the same. And so when there's like the Turian hierarchy, which is like the main Turian culture, and that is still a thing that's in the main Mass Effect games. Whereas like, but Turians who are living in a part of other societies outside of that would be like anyone else living in that society. You know, they would still be, they'd be normal for them would be what would be normal for the society that they were raised in. But you know, I mean, you kind of get the sense from her that while she's not like just not fully trusting of you, there is kind of an acknowledgement of like there's like an acknowledgement of thanks. I wouldn't go so far as to say like gratitude.
No,
but there's definitely
I just
like
wanted
a
to
like
give
a
her some
like a
sign
okay,
of like I see you.
yeah. Just kind of just share like just like one
Yeah.
quick nod.
Yeah, no, she's not overly flourishy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So the rest of these guys, you know, there's two of them. One of the humans and the Batarian who was just kind of getting like bullied a little bit. You know, they don't seem to be interested in picking up weapons. They're kind of like they kind of move over out of the way to kind of like nurse their wounds and just sort of like stay out of kind of just be out of your guys' way. But the other two, the Turian and the other human, they both pick up weapons and kind of like move over and start to kind of like talk with the other two workers as they sort of touch base. It seems like mostly just checking in, like, hey, so they're getting you out, huh? Too. That's great. Time for some payback, huh? Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's just these little kind of like quick conversations. You know, they're just getting their bearings still.
So at this point, do we want to check out the door, or do we want to go down the fork?
We should
Well, it has-
ask them which would be the better path to maybe give us the high ground or something.
Go ahead and ask them then.
Alright, you guys, we're planning our assault. What is the best way to descend into the mine?
Well, you've got to go down the main hallway there. The fork's off. And from there, it's pretty much, you'll run into pretty much the same stuff until you get to the main chamber where they found the Prothean ruin, where they found the Prothean object.
How many entries are there to the main room?
The two different passages reconnect just outside of it, so two kind of, but one really.
Are
What's
there
behind the door?
That's a supply room. You might find some useful stuff in there. Can't remember what's in there specifically, but there's usually some equipment that you might be able to find.
I'm gonna start heading towards the door while Tork's talking to him.
Okay.
Have you been allowed to go to the main room?
Sometimes.
Is
when they just-
there any points of advantage or secret entrances that we could gain advantage of to avenge your fallen brethren and yourself?
Not really. It's the central room. They found the, I don't know what to call it, a pillar maybe, or a column. I don't know exactly what it is, but they found it in there, and they've been kind of clearing that room out and clearing the rest of the space out around. And eventually, this is all going to be one big cavern.
I'm all out of it.
Well, is it a pillar, or what do you call them?
It's,
Just a
Okay.
little battlefield
She-
joke.
she almost bites and then looks at you in this very like, I don't have the energy for this sort of way.
Can you read?
McGowan audibly groans from over by the doorway.
She goes, you know what? Never mind, and walks away.
Okay, so
Tork is
Alpha,
just
take
laughing
one
at himself
D4.
softly.
Take 1d4 of psychic damage for the dad joke.
Alpha, go ahead and roll an electronics check.
I've got more kids.
Nat 20.
Easy enough. You know, you try the officer's card at first. It doesn't seem to work for this door, but you know, once you kind of get into the hacking, it's a simple hack, and you open the door, And kind of stepping inside, you see, yeah, it's like a little kind of supply room. Like looking
Those
around.
nukes? What the fuck?
No, it's just it's a
Like
lot of
drilling
it's
equipment.
kind of like machinery. Like it looks like it's a lot of spare parts for
Okay.
equipment. But go ahead if you want to take a look around. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Sure. That sounds good, however. That is an 8.
Okay, so most of it is like it looks like it's just rations for the most part, like rations and replacement equipment for the mining stuff. Even with that 8, though, you are able to find like a first aid kit, basically, and it has 2 medical kits and 3 more metagel in it.
All right, I'll grab the medical kits and bring them out to the laborers and let everybody else know, hey, there's some metagels in there if you need them.
I will take 1 metagel unless
Okay.
anybody wants to leave any.
Well, it's all in like one kind of like container dispenser thing.
Box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can divvy it up still, but like if you walk out with the medical kits, you're walking out with all of it. Basically.
I'll go through and take the medical kits over to laborers so they can kind of patch themselves up. And if you guys want the metagels, you guys take metagels. Otherwise, we can give them to laborers as well.
I'll take 1 metagel. I
Take the metagel.
I gave another one to McGowan.
Tork, did you want the third one?
Yes.
All right. So kits to laborers, the gels to the 3 biologics.
Biologics.
I'll just go ahead and use mine right away.
I think you'll find that it's organics.
I can use the metagel to make my coat nice and super shiny.
Maybe just kind of grease them up a little bit, polish them up. Okay. So you guys have, there's 4 of these, workers with you now, or at least they'll be following your lead. It seems like, again, these McGowan, you kind of have to go through the same process with these 2. You have to kind of teach them how to, not teach them from like scratch, but you do have to kind of like, go over some of the finer points.
Firearm basics.
Yes, yeah.
Types.
Firearm give them the firearm safety 101.
Don't walk around with your finger on the trigger.
Keep your booger hook off the finger, off the boom trigger.
But yeah, whenever you guys are ready to move on, you can go ahead and do that.
I'll tell the laborers that we don't have guns for to hop into the supply closet and grab something that they can swing.
Sure. I mean, they're able to. The 2 who came in, they were both carrying rifles. These other 2, they grabbed the rifles.
Oh, that's right. 2 of them are going to stay here.
Yeah, the guys that shot. Yeah, there's 2 of them that they actually what they do is they now that the shed's open, they kind of like slide by you and kind of like get inside and close the door.
That works.
Close the door.
Yeah, they close the door once you guys are done looking around in there.
Then I'll run over and grab the Ymir and we can start towards the fork. I'll have the Ymir in front again.
Kind of stomps over there. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze. Its shoulder does kind of scrape along some of the ice there, but as you guys get into position down here, you can hear more of the machinery and the drilling equipment, and it's just a pretty noisy place. So I think you guys want to probably go in the same marching order you were in before.
Yeah.
All right. So
With laborers and back.
Yeah, they'll follow when they're ready to follow. Basically, they're gonna give you guys a good wide berth for the moment.
It's probably a good idea.
I'm not sure if I want them to come at all. They're just gonna get killed. We can finish this job without them.
I'll look up at McGowan. Say, you can always tell them to go there and guard the entrance in case more show up.
Yeah, McGowan will turn back and address the Turian. So we can handle this going forward, but the 4 of you should go back to the entrance and make sure no one sneaks up behind us.
The Turian, the woman, she looks at the other 3, and she's taller than the rest of them. Like Turians are typically over 6 feet. So she stands a few inches taller than the rest. She kind of looks over at them, and a lot of you actually, I would say, except for maybe you, Rhea, you've not really seen a lot of Turians out of their armor, and they're very avian almost in kind of like the way they're in their limbs, and they're very they look a lot skinnier out of their armor. She looks at the other three, and they all kind of nod and agree. Just, all right, we'll go watch the entrance.
I know.
And we'll continue down with the Ymir in front.
If you find any more of our,
I know.
if you're able to free any more of the other workers, send them our way. We'll kind of gather up and see what happens. So they make their way. They wander off, heading towards the entrance as requested. So you guys are pretty much ready to kind of make your way through the hall here. Getting to the fork, which way would you like to go?
We'll go through. We'll get the Ymir to the middle
Well,
right
there's
there.
a doorway on the right.
Yeah, if we want to check that door, make sure there's no.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay, so you
Actually,
Zombies.
since it's a tight fit, how about we put the Ymir like blocking the south side, and we just go over to into that hallway to the right.
I like that plan.
okay, so yeah, you kind of move the Ymir into place there. And I would say, from where you're at, you'd be able to see some of the chamber kind of down the way a little bit. So let's see here. I'm gonna make this smaller. You'd kind of see looking into this room. You'd see kind of that there.
Goes down the ways.
It goes down a ways. It looks like it opens up into another room, kind of similar size to the one you were just in.
Okay.
So yeah, going. You guys want to go over to check the door? So you move over that way. Easy enough. Alpha, I presume you want to try the door.
Yeah, I'll hack the door.
Okay, yeah. So you go and try the door, and it's locked again. So go ahead and make your electronics check.
That's not as good, however. 12.
12. Denied.
Can I try again?
Sure. Yeah, you can try one more time, but you having some experience messing around with stuff like
That's
this,
better.
you know that there's like security measures in place.
Well, it didn't shock me, so that's a good sign. I did get a 23 this time.
That will work. You're able to you figure out where you screwed up the first time, and you're easily able to work past it.
Oh, that was a 0, not a 1.
Oh, 00001101101, not 0111.
And
Zero,
you see
one,
another.
one.
It's another little supply room.
Yeet.
Looks similar, but without you have to go make an investigation check.
Sure, let's go. What's in there? Let's find out. Ask me to do this. I got a 6.
A 6.
I'm using the knife now on.
Well, looking around, I would say, I think you would just see this anyways. There is it's like a weapons locker, but it's more like a crate. It looks like it's like 1 or 2, kind of rifle-ish sized weapons. It's probably like 3 feet long, maybe like 8 inches top to bottom, 10 inches top to bottom.
Oh, weapons locker. Can I hack the weapons locker?
You can definitely attempt that. Yeah.
Do you even need to?
You guys want to see what's in there?
Yeah, Tork smells weapons. He goes towards the door.
That's 15.
15. Yeah, you were able to open this. Kind of the locks, beep, beep, boop. They kind of blip and beep and chirp until they kind of slide up out of the way, and the top raises and then slides back. And inside, you find an M100 an M100 grenade launcher. And it has 3 heavy weapon charges. So whoever takes it, you won't find it under weapons. You'll find it under gear, and you'll have to search heavy weapons. Whoever has it would benefit tremendously from reading up on how heavy weapon charges works.
I don't think anybody in the party would want that, so I'm just going to close it back up again.
Wait.
I would love to put my hat in the ring.
Are you going to take that?
I'm going to radio back and let them fight over as I leave the room.
McGowan and Tork kind of like ooh, both run in, kind of like stand over the weapons crate looking at it. And
you see, the way I think about it is that if I'm the one that's charging in all the time, this will make sure that I don't get shot with this when I'm ahead of you guys.
I mean, do you think I'm just going to shoot you with a grenade launcher?
They do have blast zones.
At the same point, while you're swinging your hammer, you can't be shooting a grenade launcher while he can.
You also have,
You can also just take the grenades out of that, tape it to the front of your hammer.
Also, out of character, there are restrictions on how many two-handed weapons you can have that my class ignores.
What's the restriction? Do you know? Because I have 3 on me right now.
You're supposed to. You have 2. I think you can have 2 two-handed weapons, and what is it? You have a certain number of weapon slots. Let me check. I haven't actually run into this problem yet, so I haven't committed this to memory. So give me just a second here. This will be equipment, I think.
goodness.
Yeah, like that's the whole point of this class, is to just have as many fucking big guns as you can.
Yep. Let's see.
Because in any case, it's an easy call. I'll just drop my old shotgun.
Weapons. Let's see. Carrying, holstering, drawing weapons. You have 4 weapon slots. Two-handed weapons take up 2 slots.
Oh, so you can only have 2.
You can only have 2
weapons.
You can have 2 two-handed weapons.
Or 1, 2, and 2, 1.
And Tork, I think you already have 2 because your hammer counts.
Yeah,
as
my hammer is a two-handed. Shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
I will have retroactively drop my katana.
Sure, that's fine.
I mean, also,
Proactively, retroactively.
Well, is the katana something you want to keep? Because I could just carry it until then, until we get back. Or if it's just an extra, we'll just leave it.
Well, it does have a bit of a trade-up with the Raider, because the Raider is more powerful, but only has 2 heat, and I think fires 2 bullets at a time.
It can fire 2 shots at a time. I think you have your double tap
Yeah.
with that, which lets you take a bonus action to shoot if you've used an action to shoot already.
Yeah, can we say that Alpha, or is it Omega that holds it?
Yeah, if you guys,
Omega's just a
that's
drone.
fine, that's
Yeah,
fine.
like all the interaction stuff is Alpha. Omega is just a drone that looks like Alpha.
Yeah, he's a fancy skinned drone.
Yeah, but he carries the stuff.
He's a cool
Alpha does.
familiar. He's a cool familiar buddy.
Oh, Alpha, whatever, whoever.
Yeah. We'll go through. We'll either say that it was left behind if you haven't used it yet, or that I carry it. So I have the space.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever works. I'm not. It's not something that I'm super worried about.
Yeah.
So.
Just mark in your character sheet that I'm carrying your katana, and then I can just give it back to you whenever we get back to out of here.
And I would say too, like, I would say that if you guys like were able to find like something to carry this stuff in, like a bag, that wasn't like that wasn't like a weapon slot, but it's like you just got like a canvas bag full of like extra stuff or whatever you can find. Like that's fine too, because you do run into kind of a weird thing with like inventories in Mass Effect, where like you don't really technically have an inventory, but your armor has like built-in storage stuff for things.
Quick access.
So like this would be kind of like, well, you wouldn't be able to like switch to this weapon in combat, but like you know if you want to like bring it back for loot or whatever, because otherwise, like, loot's gonna get kind of weird and stuff. So if like you guys want to keep an eye out for something that you could carry things in, that's fine with me.
Okay. All right. So from where we are here, who's taking the grenade launcher?
I think Tork and I both want it.
So I'm gonna reach into the box and I'm gonna pick it up, and then I'm gonna say "Ah," and hand it over to McGowan.
Thank you. And I will attach it to my other weapon.
Yeah, and you have 3 heavy weapon charges for it,
Okay. I will do some reading.
and all that's under gear instead of
Heavy
weapons. You won't find it under weapons. You'll find it under gear.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up here.
Okay,
I'm gonna read up on how heavy weapons work.
Yeah,
Well-
heavy weapons. Well, heavy weapons, they work basically like regular weapons. They just, instead of having thermal clips, they have a certain number of charges. So, and charges are much more difficult to find than thermal clips. And you can buy them from certain vendors, of course. So like it's D&D and all that. But it's going to be something that, it's not going to be something that you're going to like use in every fight, basically. Like, you
Special
wanna
ammo.
save it. Yeah, special ammo you'll want to hang on to for special circumstances.
Well, while they're going through their decisioning of the grenade launcher, I'm going to peek around the corner to on screen's left just to see if that continues down or not.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so you move up. Rhea, is there anything that you want to do during this time as well? Do you want to? Are you
I'm
joining
also
Alpha
just
here?
keeping an eye out and
Okay.
making perception shit.
Okay. Are you watching which side of the hall are you watching? Are you watching? Are you left or
They
right?
got the back thing covered and we got the mech there. I'll go with Alpha.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys go ahead.
So what I'll do is I'll leave Omega by the mech. That way he's watching down there in case somebody comes up.
Okay. Sure. Good enough. Put him down there. Yeah, you guys kind of move up. You see there's a little bit of a half cover up there, so you creep up, kind of get down. Go ahead and make a perception check.
5.
Mine was better than that. I'm just getting the
Alpha, your
19.
your optical lens is kind of getting foggy with the cold air. in here.
Change in temperature.
It's getting smudged. It's getting foggy and hard to see. What'd you get, Rhea?
19.
19. Okay, yeah. So you can see much more. You can pretty much see the whole space. So let me show you here. You see. Well, I guess you wouldn't be able to see up behind this box from where you are. That first A37 like kind of shipping crate, but you can see all the way down here. You wouldn't be able to see the door from your perspective because
we can see that it opens into a much larger room. It's not.
Yeah, you can see it
end.
opens up to a much larger room, but I'd say Rhea, because she got a 19, she can see all the way down to the other side. So you don't see that first group of 3 here.
Yeah.
They're out of sight.
Cover.
Yeah, because of the cover, but you do see that second group of 3 down the far end of the room there. So, sure.
All right.
Well, I definitely relay that information to Alpha when I see that they're like trying to clean
Alright.
their lens.
Yeah, we'll go.
Little
we'll-
tiny
you-
windshield wiper.
Yeah, we all should be connected through like omni-tool radios, so you can just tell all of us at the same time.
That too.
Yeah, that's what we're getting used to from regular D&D.
Everyone can
Yeah.
hear everyone.
It's a lot
Yeah.
easier to communicate.
But yeah, I explained that we're behind like a little bit of half cover and that there's some crates ahead I can't see behind, but I know that there's definitely a small group down the hall.
Are they
Alright,
still
so-
distracted like the others?
That's what it seems to be, where we would have a point of advantage, but have to go in further to see if we're outnumbered or not. Right
Yeah,
now
but
we're not, but
The noise is persistent here too. The loud drilling sounds are still very, very loud here.
So people like basically can't hear us walk?
That's what it seems like so far. I mean, when you ran across that gap there, Tork, they didn't even look over their shoulders at you.
Yeet.
Yeah, so I have Omega guarding the southern hallway. If you two want to come join us, and we can explore from here.
Yeah. I'll move up with them.
Yeah,
Tork, McGowan, both run up.
Actually, what I'll do is I'll run back and grab the Ymir, bring the Ymir over, and then just leave Omega guard in that hallway.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna reload while we're doing all this.
Okay, and Omega. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for Omega, since I presume he's kind of trying to stay hidden and out of sight.
Yeah, as best as he can, being a drone anyway.
Right.
Well, at least that's one of his decent stats. Dirty 20.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you kind of get tucks down back behind. You're back behind this rock here, and gets, kind of starts relying more on his internal sensors rather than on his optics.
He's like that little dog that's down on all fours, and then just kind of shimmying forward a little bit to look. All right, so I'll start walking the Ymir forward through the hallway.
So Ymir. So we're doing same marching order: Ymir, Alpha, McGowan, Tork, and Rhea.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are moving into the room here. Rhea has communicated what she's seen.
Mm-hmm.
And how exactly does your "I can't be surprised" thing work again? Alpha?
Combat senses. I think that's what it was. One second.
It's just those couple guys around the corner that you couldn't see that you could see. But I want to know if you can tell that they're
not a problem. So it's a combat sensor. Let me find it on here just to be sure.
I think it's one of those weird, sort of anomalous wordings where it's sort of like you can't be surprised, and then I go, well, what does that mean?
I took it as I can't say it, or I cannot get a surprise attack upon me or anybody within that range.
Shit. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's just at the last second, you get alerted to something. Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't think it means that I see around corners or anything like that. It's just that if somebody was trying to surprise attack us, they wouldn't be able to.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So stepping into the room here, the mech kind of walks through. You guys following closely behind it. And it's at that point, go ahead and make another perception check for me, Alpha, and I guess whoever wants to will say. We could even do a group perception check for this, since you all kind of know there's stuff going on in the next room, so you'll all be kind of keeping a lookout.
15 for me.
Okay.
17
I got a
for
6
McGowan.
off a natural 1.
Ooh, since that's a skill check, I get a card.
McGowan got a 17.
Okay.
21.
Did you roll 21? Okay, yeah.
Nice.
So between the three of you, you kind of more than make up for Rhea's momentary distraction.
She got distracted by a butterfly.
Of an
Which is a
imaginary
weird place to
butterfly.
find a
Very
butterfly.
unlikely.
I was gonna say this is like a super weird place to find a butterfly.
That's what she thought. Yeah, probably, right?
She was.
Yeah, that's the only reason she would be distracted by a butterfly. It's because she's
Okay.
like, wait, what the fuck is a butterfly doing down here?
Why?
Ow!
So I say McGowan and Alpha, since you guys are in the front, you both first noticed the trio, right around the corner from where you are currently. Two more workers, and an LMG trooper with his back to you.
Since there seems to be only one worker, McGowan or Tork, you want to run up and take care of him quietly?
You guys are we'll say you guys are right there.
There's just a fucking mech just wham, 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 and he's like,
They're used to
Yeah, and
that
I would,
noise.
on that note, I would say he does turn around to see the mech, but
no!
well, hang on, Hank, just hold the fuck on. Never let me finish what I'm trying to say.
I was gonna say I ruined it.
This is before, as you kind of see him, he kind of looks over his shoulder and sees the mech, but he doesn't, really react to it. He can't tell that it's not a friendly mech.
Yeah, I'll go up.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was hoping on.
He's got a helmet on, right?
Yeah, they've all got kind of the standard issue LMD helmets.
So I want to run up, sort of wrap my arm around his neck, and just stab with the Omni tool.
Okay, go ahead. We will say go ahead and make first make a stealth check, since you're trying to kind of sneak up on him.
That was a natural 20, but I have heavy armor.
So the roll. You do get a card though, because it does count as rolling a natural 20.
You got points for trying. You
Guess
got
what my-
points for trying.
Guess what my second roll was?
A natural 1.
Yep.
Wow.
God,
Oh.
dude,
This is why we can't have nice things.
This is the other night all over again.
So
It
go
is.
ahead and make your attack roll, then McGowan, because as you run up, you kick a chunk of ice that bounces off the back of his boot, causes him to kind of like turn around completely and look at you. And then as you go to strike, he kind of is reacting because he's seen you as you came in to make your attack.
So that would be.
Are we?
9 to hit.
9 to hit. It's not going to hit. His shields deflect it. Anybody else who, since you guys were all kind of like
Charge!
sitting there, kind of waiting, yeah, Tork doing a charge. Boom! So that's a dex saving throw. That's going to be. I'm going to pull up my bookmarks again here. That's going to be a 14.
Pass.
He passes. Okay, so you strike him, and actually, as a reaction, he's going to boop, kind of like slam his fist onto his Omni tool, and his tech armor activates.
Wait, but he takes damage.
Yeah, he'll still take damage. Yep, it's just this is him like kind of reacting to stuff because you guys have, he knows he's kind of in danger now. I'm in danger.
9 damage.
9 damage. Okay, his shields shatter. And he staggers back. He's got to make a. Oh, he doesn't have to make this the con save if he succeeds. Right? He doesn't get knocked prone if he passes from charge.
Correct.
Okay. Rhea Alpha. Is there anything you guys want to do? Kind of in this brief instant. He's just used a reaction. He's not gone yet. So.
Oh,
Do I have line of sight on the other dude?
The one far down. I'd say you'd have
Yeah.
to move around the mech, but yeah, you'd be able to get line of sight on him pretty easy.
Get him.
Okay, I want to take a shot at that guy.
Okay.
I was 16
16.
to hit.
Let's see. Yeah, that'll hit.
Woo!
Okay, so con save. Con save.
Sorry, I was zoned out there for a second. Con save. It's a 15. I was looking.
Okay,
I was,
so that
I was
passes.
looking at my cards. Okay, so
Oh,
he'll
good.
still take damage though, right?
But yeah, he still takes 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. His shields shatter, and it's not going to be a killing blow, but it does kind of knock him down to his knee, and there's a big spat of blood that comes out the other side. You see kind of this pink cloud from where you're around, kind of pierces all the way through him, and as it does its expanding trick with the barbs that just like lacerate his insides. But it does a lot of damage, but he's still standing there, and the round actually pierces all the way through him, preventing
Shot him
it
right
from
in the tum-tum.
Alpha. What do you want to do?
Would I be able to shoot the close one without hitting McGowan and Tork, or would that be?
You could move to try and get a better line of sight because they're right next to each other, so there's not much room there.
Okay. Well, I will move the Ymir further to the west, as far as it'll go, and then
So
I will.
Dash will put it about there, I think.
All right, and then I will go through and position myself to get a better line of sight to the close one.
25 feet will put you there.
Yeah, that's not a problem for these guys. And then I'll take a shot.
Okay. You open your mouth and your submachine gun.
I'm sorry, guys. I got a 1.
No.
Oh my god, we
Yeah,
like
his
almost
tech
all
armor.
of us rolled one.
His tech armor kind of takes the hit. Doesn't seem to have even done much damage to him.
That's it. I got it.
Okay. I guess then it's gonna be their turn. Homie, who is down but not dead. He's still got enough hit points left where he's potentially a danger, so he's going to go ahead and as a reaction to your shot. Well, he didn't know you were coming, so he couldn't take a reaction against it. But what he's going to do is he's going to use his action in this round to activate his tech armor, and he's going to turn around and see you guys coming, and he's going to limp, trail of blood falling up behind the rocks here. That's the end of his turn. And then the other guy is going to go ahead and try and hit. I'll roll for this. I don't know who he's going to try and hit. It's mostly just going to be like an instinctual reaction. He's going to try and hit McGowan. So McGowan's the first person to try and attack him.
Interesting choice.
Ooh, our stream overlay got all screwy.
Is that so?
It's because Brian left.
Oh. Alpha.
No, come back.
Let's see. That's going to be. I mean, that's a miss. That's like a 12
Yeah,
against
it's not
the.
gonna hit.
Don't even roll at a disadvantage. It's a natural 1. So if you want to make a.
I do want to make a
Yeah,
counter attack.
and since you have an Omni Blade, which requires no hands, so you can absolutely go ahead and do that.
Natural 20.
Nice. Wow.
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah. Very weird.
So weird.
I do not have my Omni Blade stats pulled up, so give me just a second.
Ryan, come back.
Oh, his internet crashed. That's good.
Okay, so he automatically takes 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Plus another 7 points of damage.
So his tech armor shatters as your Omni tool activates, and you go ahead and just finish him off there. Your first strike, not really doing a whole lot. Tork following up with the charge, kind of breaking most of his defenses, but him reacting in time to get those tech armor up, but still taking damage from your charge, Tork. And McGowan, he's kind of like reeling and kind of going for like a just this close fire kind of reactionary shot motion. You kind of catch his arm and stick him with the Omni Blade and just like throw him, kind of like set him on the ground, throwing his limp body there as he kind of like collapses against you.
And then I guess I will move to take cover behind the ice or the crate. The crate.
Okay. So yeah, he's dead. This one up here.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess Tork, is there anything you want to do quick?
The guy in front of us still has his tech armor up.
No, he's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, McGowan I'm just killed. I'm getting the token in place right now.
I'll just
McGowan finished him off.
I'll just run my full distance towards or no. We gotta let these dudes free. So I'll let the dudes free.
Okay, go ahead. When you guys all have the access to the key code, we can say it would be simple enough to transfer across your Omni tools. So go, easy enough. The two chains come apart, and this is This is a male Turian, and another Solarian. Sorry, folks, we're having some technical difficulties with the cameras here. Alpha lost his internet connection, so he's going to be joining us again as soon as he can. In the meantime, you'll just have to go without seeing our faces. Whether they're beautiful or not, I guess I'll leave that up to you.
Hey, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I was
But I
trying
was
to
gonna
think.
say-
Beholder.
But I
Yes!
was going to say,
There's the
I was
joke.
going to say that I don't care either way. So
You can still hear us.
Right. Yeah. So we've got the Tork, you're freeing these. Got these two guys free here. Rhea, what would you like to do?
I mean, can I move kind of southwest around that rock and still get a good shot on that dude?
Yeah, this is more ice, so it's like half cover, so it's like waist high.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sick. Currently, actually, now that there's a new rule, I will duck down behind that cover and reload for my action.
Okay.
Because
I suppose it's technically not a new rule, it's the way it's meant to be written, but we mistakenly made a homebrew that is actually something that already exists, so we're fools.
You are.
I mean, like I said, it was my idea, so I suppose.
So yeah, I reload and assess my situation and get ready to shoot
Okay.
next round.
Well, since Alpha's not here, we'll just have to skip him for a moment.
No.
He's not here. We'll keep the game going. So I guess it comes back to McGowan. Then Alpha is taking cover. We'll put him in cover so he's not going to just get destroyed. So McGowan, I presume the mech he'll want the mech to keep moving forward as well. So I'll just do that for him because we'll go there because I don't think he would intentionally block your shot. Ray.
Is that rock that
there?
homeboy is behind full cover?
Yeah. So the rocks as well go ceiling to floor, or floor to ceiling.
McGowan's gonna run up, taking cover behind the mech.
Yep.
So that I have a line of sight on, around that rock.
Okay, so it'll be around this side.
You've been doing that. And it's so tight.
And then I want to take a shot.
Go for it.
That's a dirty 20.
That'll hit, yeah.
That's going to be 20 damage? Yes, yeah. 20 damage.
He's already so close to being dead. With his tech armor being his only line of defense, it shatters, and the rest of your rounds just slice through him, puncturing the armor, and he drops still. You can't hear it, but there's a Wilhelm scream in there as he gets blasted apart by a sniper rifle and then your giant machine gun, McGowan. So both of those guys are dead. And I continuing. So it looks like you've cleared this room as well. What's your next move?
I want to move up to the little ice chunk. Poke my head down that hallway there.
Okay. So the mech is
I'll come
5,
up,
10.
or I'll check the door behind me.
Yeah, 5, 10, 15. This one here. You go to open this door. Like the others, it's locked, but with the officer's key code, it opens easy enough. Or no, sorry, though it wasn't working for these before. So I'm my mistake. So this one you'd have to make an electronics check to open.
Okay, I'll wait for McGowan to check up there, and then.
So coming up here, McGowan, you just kind of peeking around the corner is what you wanted to do, you said?
Yeah, I just want to get an idea of
okay, so peeking around the corner, you see another fork in the hall there.
No.
And I would say things are clear enough in here too, where you would actually see on what is the right side of the screen, you would be able to see. Sorry, let me get the lighting situation set up appropriately. Kind of looking down, and make this a little smaller as well. So from your position here, you're able to see all the way down the hall. These light fixtures are illuminated, and you see another kind of a couple more of these kind of groups of workers and enforcers. Excuse me. Down in this room from there, and then down this way. Well, you can't see down that hallway from where you are, so.
Right.
Never mind.
We'll hold off until we go around again.
We're out of initiative right now.
Yeah. We haven't been in initiative since we started. It's just kind of like keeping things in a little bit of a turn order, just so that things kind of make sense.
Oh right, yeah. I'm just gonna walk up to the weapon that came off of this guy right here and kick it over to one of them.
Yeah, it's just another one of those Vindicator rifles. A pretty standard issue, cheap rifle. Kind of looks down at it. The Turian looks down at it and he picks it up. And you can tell by looking at this Turian, he's a little older. And he picks it up and well, I can tell this wasn't made on Palavin, but it'll do. Thanks, Krogan. I'll kill one for you.
Just don't make it me.
Dude.
Not a chance.
And then I'm gonna walk forward.
So you guys are you guys are all, what do we, I guess we're kind of waiting on Alpha now.
I mean, in the meantime, I will set these other two free. The dude I just killed's gun.
Sure, go ahead. You can. For this, you're able to use the the tool. Yeah. So these two guys, again, this was another Turian. This was that Turian and the Solarian. And like the rest of the guys like this you've seen, the rest of these workers you've seen, they're unsure of what's going on. But the fact that you're setting them out of their chains, that's a good thing, presumably.
Nah, just kidding. Put them back on.
But they're wary. They don't know you guys at all. You're heavily armed, and you just came in and shot everybody. So there's no real change in their behavior. It's more of what the same what you've been running into with these guys.
If we can gather them up sort of in the middle of the room.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like, if you kind of... Well, I mean, go ahead and say what you're going to say and make a persuasion check.
I guess I was...
What?
I was going to try to talk to all of them at the same time.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you're going to have to convince them to
Yeah.
move at all, though, because they don't know you.
That's right.
You're more heavily armed than the guys that have been keeping them prisoner.
So I guess just these two. We've set some of the other workers free. They're at the mouth of the entrance to the caves. They're also armed. Make your way there.
Okay. We'll do that. Thanks. They run over, pass along the information to the other two, one of which who has the gun that you kicked over to in Tork, and the four of them, make their way in the direction that you indicated. McGowan.
And I gave them the gun safety spiel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy enough. Easy peasy. Okay. Man, Ryan, where are you, man?
Could we
There's
just assume that maybe Alpha wants to come unlock this door?
I don't know what his skill is, though. That's the
I can
issue.
try it.
Yeah, Rhea, if you want to, you absolutely can.
Maybe with advantage because Alpha's helping.
Sure. Yeah, since your main hacking guy, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. That sounds fine to me.
Irony.
I might still have
Okay,
the
17.
sheet, so let me try to see if I can pull it up.
17. Okay. Well, 17. Yeah, you're able to get the door open. It's a pretty easy bypass. It's not like a cakewalk, but it's easy enough. You've hacked much
I'm
more difficult
proficient in
locks.
electronics. Yeah.
Yeah, you've hacked much more difficult locks than this.
But with Alpha breathing down your neck.
Yeah, so this is another supply room.
I want to look for weapon crates.
Geez, who has the motorcycle outside their front house?
That was me.
As opposed to the back house.
The front of their house. Fine.
Look, I hope someone wasn't driving that recklessly in an alley.
I want to check in the room for weapon crates.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I have Alpha and Omega's character sheets pulled up.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow. 9.
9. You find another metagel dispenser on the wall with 2 charges.
Okay.
And looking around through the rest of it, there's not much here that catches your eye.
Okay, I mean,
Well, it's more like rations.
2
And,
metagel charges.
yeah, it's more rations and repair stuff for the mining equipment.
I grab the metagel charges and I just have them.
Yeah, that's fine. Just make sure you add them to your inventory and you're good to go. I don't think there's a limit to the number of metagel charges you can carry, but I'll look into that for next time. All right, so yeah, now that you guys have got the room hacked, cleared out, enemies are dealt with. The mech will be kind of just chilling over here somewhere. Since it seems like Alpha just kind of has him continuing to move forward. What do you guys want to do? You've got the passage. The one that there was the passage way back that Omega is still watching, or there's the one that you saw again.
Let's keep moving ahead.
There's more workers and overseers, I guess. Troopers up ahead. I think we should clear them out first before we investigate what's down this hall.
What is that? Cheez-Its?
Yes.
You're leaving McGowan hanging here, guys.
Oh, did you ask a question? I'm sorry.
No, I suggested that we clear out the troopers that I saw earlier.
Yeah. If there's prisoners being held ahead, let's go free them.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess following the mech, same formation.
Yeah.
Yep, or do.
All right, so moving down the hallway. I'll move you guys in a minute. In a second. I'm coming to the fork.
Yes.
Yeah, so coming to the fork here, McGowan, it was just straight ahead that you saw, but I would say now that you're here, you would see more of what's down this side passage, or this right-hand passage. And you see it opens up into another big room, it looks like. You see an LMD trooper there with a Varan. And I would say, from where you're at, the line of sight would be about where the top right corner is. That's about the limit of what you'd be able to see in that room.
Okay. Well, I think we'll keep going forward. Just continue. Stay the course.
So keep moving down. And actually, sorry, you would notice that this, the guard down there. He's not looking like directly at you, but he's not like back turned. You know, like you have this moment where you see him and like kind of like push your back up to the wall. So if you guys are gonna make your way across, the four of you would need to make a stealth check. The mech, you know, based on what you guys have seen, you know, unless it like.
Well, yeah, I mean that kind of changes things. I think.
I did okay.
I will absolutely blow our cover.
So sorry, are we rolling for stealth?
Well, I mean, before we do that,
Trying to figure out what you guys are doing. It's up to you
yeah.
guys how you want to proceed.
So I'll hold my hand up,
So let's see. Yeah.
look back to the group. The guard down there may see us. He doesn't have his back turned to us, so
I
it
mean,
might make some.
can we send the mech down there?
That's what I was gonna say.
Sure, let's do it.
It's like,
Yeah.
let it go fuck something up.
Yeah, Alpha will we'll kind of begin sending the mech down this way. So 5, 10, 15, 20. This has got 30 total.
Can I
30 feet of movement total.
kind of have like followed behind the mech until the split and just kind of hang out on the other side of that fork, like in cover?
Right there?
Nope, down behind the generator.
Oh, sure, like over here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the play, is to cross while the mech is distracting them. So,
Yeah, so go ahead and everybody make your stealth checks.
I got a 14.
Okay.
Durable.
Testing, testing, 1, 2. Can you guys hear me?
Hey! Alpha's
So-
back.
So apparently, rolling that 1 critted my internet. 'Cause the internet, my entire the internet in my entire apartment complex is out right now. Like not just me, but I have a friend that lives in the same complex. And
Exciting.
apparently, her net is out too.
Jeez.
That's how hard I failed.
wow,
Jeez.
that was a powerful one.
That happened to me the other day playing Skyrim. Not to get into a big tangent, but I was playing and I went into a dungeon and I got killed by a bandit so hard that my game crashed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Just decapitated me and the game
It
shut
happens.
off.
Nice.
It's like, nope, we have to do this all over again. Anyways, all right, so Alpha, just to get you caught up on what's happened, you guys have moved down. You guys dealt with the enemies in the room there. McGowan kind of got eyes on a long continuation of the passage here. And now you guys are attempting to use the mech kind of as a cover distraction so that you guys can all dash across the gap here, because the guard down in that bottom right-hand corner, he doesn't have his back to you. He's not looking right at you. It doesn't look like he's kind of like he's been alerted to your presence. Because again, it's still very noisy down here, lots of echoing and
Construction site kind of
sound
thing.
distortion. Yeah, it's like being in a construction site when they're working on like, you know, like a superstore in a mall. You know, it's like really, really echoey in here, and there's lots of like sound distortion. So go ahead and roll a stealth check since everybody else just did that.
I got a 15.
All right.
For Alpha, you got a 15 for Alpha.
No, for McGowan.
Okay.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
12, 14.
14. Okay, yeah. Between the noise and the mech blocking a lot of the passage, there's no immediate response to you guys running. You don't hear any gun. You know, you don't feel like anyone's shooting at you. You can't hear anything, but kind of looking over your shoulder as you run by McGowan. I guess McGowan and Rhea, since you two have kind of been keeping your eye down that way, guy doesn't seem to have spotted you. So you kind of dash across. You know, that's where the mech moves for now. But so you guys are able to kind of like get down to this next bit of cover here before deciding on how you want to proceed. So let me show you kind of what is next up without showing you too much of what you wouldn't be able to see. So I think Yeah, I think that's pretty good. You guys can kind of get a sense of everything with that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, yeah. So that's kind of what you're working with there. And you guys wouldn't be able to see like this far out into this room, but the lighting in Incarnate is not perfect.
Assessing this situation, I feel like Rhea would, I'm thinking that if we let this mech move in and give it a second, see what happens, because if those people start running towards that side, we get to take them from behind.
Okay, yeah. So the mech,
Which is a better.
without having Alpha there to command it like directly, it will take kind of like pre-programmed instructions. So it'll continue to kind of 5, 10, 15, make its way down there, just kind of chunking away, stomping away. So it makes its way down the hall.
McGowan's going to move up to the next crate.
Okay. Go ahead and make another stealth check, McGowan. And again, I think you guys should be doing do this at advantage because of the noise. I should have had you be doing these at advantage the whole time. But
Natural 20.
Natural 20, nice.
So, are we still in that western open room, or did we head south?
You went south.
Okay. Then yeah, Omega would have came with us too.
Oh, natural 20.
Dang! I gotta
We're
send
the
2.
stealthiest.
I gotta send you both cards. Okay, so let's see here.
I got an 18.
Nice. I mean,
you know what? That's not
still a very good
a
roll.
natural 20.
It's definitely not a natural 20.
Okay, so McGowan, this first card is for you. Let me send that to you.
Pour moi? You're sending those on Discord, right?
Yep, I always send the cards on Discord because they get lost super easy in Facebook chat.
With the character name attached?
Yeah.
That's just a picture.
That. I mean, you should really just be able to make a note on it somewhere. Like you can do that.
Yeah, like he sent it to me as a private message on Discord, so I can just bring that.
Dan plays in some of my regular D&D games, so he knows the drill. He knows how I do this.
Yeah, sometimes I get the cards confused with characters.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say like.
I didn't realize you had more than one.
Yeah, go. I mean, I would just say you can always enter the name for the character, especially for you since you have so many. God, okay, now I'm trying to send one to Red and it's not connecting. There we go. Okay.
Well, this one will be.
Okay, and if you guys could delete the cards when you use them, so that when I send you cards again, I don't get confused that you've got one already. Like delete the pictures that I send, so that way we both know that you've used it and we don't get confused.
Yeah, sounds good.
Wait, did I send you the right one, Amanda? I think I sent you the wrong one.
No.
No, it shouldn't. No, it doesn't. I got it right. It's fine. It's fine. I thought I did them backwards, but I did them in the proper order. So, okay. Okay. All that's figured out. So you guys all pretty easily managed to stealth up. Kind of behind this next box here. McGowan, why don't you go ahead and make a perception check? Since you're in the front.
19.
19?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't look like, again, it's kind of more the same thing. Like these guards don't really seem to be, they're not paying too close attention. So you do see this one who's all the way down in the back. He does kind of move up a little bit to start. He doesn't get like super close, but he does like move up a little bit, and you can see him conversing with, or like looking at, making eye contact with their helmets with the other guy. You see him kind of making like conversational head gestures and stuff. You can't tell what they're saying, but.
There's the two guards are talking. Red. There's one a little further down. Do you want to take that one? We can try to take the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
So Tork
I'm
and
locked and
Rhea,
loaded.
yeah, Tork and Rhea, you'd have to switch positions there, but that's perfectly doable. So, McGowan, you pop out. Rhea, you drop down to a knee and kind of like your gut, the barrel of your rifle kind of coming out at where like McGowan's hip is, so you're kind of like standing, kind of crouched underneath the position he's taken.
It's Brady Bunch style, leaned out around the corner. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
McGowan's waiting for Rhea to shoot before he shoots the other one.
All right, and I got a 14 to hit.
14 will hit.
Excellent. It's a con save and
Blasting.
ooh, well, 9 points of damage. It's not
9 points of
great.
damage. Which guy were you shooting at?
The farther one.
Okay,
Yes.
his shields. You see his shields dissipate, and he staggers forward. So he's got to make that con saving throw. I think that's a 9, so that's a failure.
That fails.
So I have a question,
Yes.
Dungeon Master, Galaxy Master.
Yeah.
I rolled my attack roll. It was not good. This card says I can play it at any time.
You can.
Cool. I'm going to succeed on my attack roll.
Yeah, nice.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You speak up.
All right. So, yeah, you succeed. Go ahead and roll damage.
15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. That's a kill. So your shot, Ray, your shot
Hey.
is not a kill, but it is enough to his shields shatter. He drops to a knee and he's going to use his reaction to activate his tech armor. But McGowan, the guy that you shoot, does go down, and he goes down pretty dramatically.
Ah,
Oh my freaking gosh! I'm trying to grab a thing. Sometimes there's like a lot of like tool tabs in Arkenforge, and they get in the way of stuff you're trying to do. So I'm just trying to move this main. All right, so yeah, that guy, he's still up, but this guy, whoa, he goes down. The guy, this closer one here, kind of like Western, his arms fly out, he drops his gun, and he just face plants into the ice on the ground. Alpha, Tork, anything you guys want to do?
Is there anybody that's, given that I can't see the map right now, is there anybody that hasn't been taken out yet?
There's one guy who his shields are down and he took some damage, but he threw his tech armor up and he's still has enough hit points left where he's like standing on his feet and he's kind of wheeling about to where the shot came from.
and he's like 60 feet from you.
Yeah, I would say, how far is he?
Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 54, 60. Yeah, like 65.
Ah, so close.
You were really
Okay.
close. That was a good guess.
So that's out of range for Alpha, but Omega can go through and can fire and incinerate.
Omega is still down the other hallway.
Well, you said that we went south, correct? Where Omega was watching?
No, you guys went through the room. There's another hallway at the far end of that room that goes south.
We are still on the west side.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're on the west side, but you are also going south. That's where I think where
Okay.
the confusion came in, is because it's a path that goes in the same direction. It's just on the other side of the.
Okay. So, well, since the room continued into another hallway, I'll just signal back to Omega to come join us, and since we are out of range of my submachine gun, I'll just take cover.
Okay, so it's going to take a little while for him to get back to you.
Yeah, that's fine. He'll join up with us whenever he joins up.
Yep. Okay, so with that in mind, then Tork, anything that you wanted to do? I don't recall.
I'm just gonna start running up on them.
30 feet will put you there. Would you like to dash?
Yeah, I don't have anything that can hit at that range.
Okay, so another 30 feet. Yeah, you're just charging up. Krogan screaming with your hammer out.
Accurate.
This guy seeing, like, as he turns around to react to Rhea's shot and his tech armor pops up, he sees you. Oh shit! And he fires off a shot. Let me make sure I've got his Weapon. Okay, so it's burst fire, not double tap. That is gonna be an 11. So it just some of it kind of peppers off your shields. The rest of the rounds go wide, missing you completely. And I think that's it. Yeah, he's kind of surprised now. Cover is not going to do much good against the charging Krogan. So that's it. McGowan and Rhea, you're up again. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna move up, take cover behind that generator, and hold my turn, my action,
Okay.
I guess, until after Tork
Did
goes.
he take the damage again at the beginning of his turn?
He did not. Go ahead and roll for that, please.
Okay.
Nice.
12.
12 points of damage. Yeah, so Tork, as he goes around and shoots you, this wound is just pumping blood. And as he turns around, he misses you because it's like a weak, one-handed, like, and he just falls over, and his own blood starts to just pool out from underneath him.
Awesome.
And I give you a little, like...
So he did.
So... I guess I want to... I'm pretty far back, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you can move. We're not in an initiative right now, so things are a little loosey-goosey.
All right. I mean, I probably go and give the same spiel to the new prisoners.
Yeah, so there's a few more of them down here.
And I think there's one more dude that we've already seen around the corner. So
there's two
obviously...
here. Yeah, it's a little dark back there. But over here we'll move them up where you can see them. So just a little bit easier for everybody. Yeah, so you find four more of these guys in here, and this would be there's actually a couple of Solarians in here, another human, and a Krogan actually. It's a kind of he's a very malnourished Krogan. He does not look like a.
Oh.
I mean, he's still big, and still pretty muscly, but he's very thin for most Krogan. The hump on his back is really small. Krogan, the humps on their backs are very like camel humps. They store nutrients and water and stuff. And his looks almost like shriveled. He's not in armor or anything. He's in like another kind of like the Krogan equivalent of one of these yellow jumpsuits.
Can I encourage them to loot the bodies that we just did in case there's any metagel for them to heal up a little bit?
Sure, yeah. Whoever wants to make an investigation check, or two people can do it.
I'm gonna walk over to the Krogan and give him a metagel.
Okay. You mean you go to give him the metagel? It's not really like a metagel's for wounds. These guys don't really have wounds.
Yeah.
They're very overworked. They're drawn,
overworked,
and malnourished. Yeah, malnourished. I wouldn't say they're not quite so malnourished where they're like on the verge of death. We're not dealing with like a labor camp, like a slave death camp thing here where like they work people until they die. But they're a bit underfed. Like they're definitely not like the strongest, most physically fit people. You kind of get the sense, because this has sort of been the case with all of these workers you've found. You kind of get the sense that the intention is to keep them strong enough to work, but weak enough so that if they resist, they don't put up much of a fight.
Man.
So the metagel isn't going to really help the Krogan here.
Okay, never mind. I just go up to him and I put my arm on his shoulder and I say,
"You look like you've seen better days."
Yeah. You can tell he's younger than you are. He's not like a fresh-faced hatchling, but he's you kind of you can tell by him he's born post Reaper War.
Okay.
Whether or not he was yeah, I mean, with Krogan and other races that have the really long lifespans, it's hard to say like how he came to be here, especially considering the genophage with the Krogan.
Does
But
the body? Sorry.
No, go for it.
Does the body at my feet have a weapon?
Yeah, they've all got the same rifle that
Okay.
you've seen in all these guys. Yeah,
I'm
these are
gonna-
all kind of the same troopers. Uniform, weapons, everything is the same as you've been seeing.
Alright, I'm gonna pick up the gun off of him
Mm-hmm.
and hand it to the Krogan and say, alright, son, regain your pride.
He kind of looks down at the gun, tests the weight. It's been a long time since I've spilled some blood. Whenever you're ready, brother.
Let's go. Follow us.
Right, so the other three are all kind of looking around, still kind of do. Again, it's the interaction here is not going to be really any different. It's just sort of up to you guys how you want to direct these people.
Oh, I guess we should tell them that there's a group of them holding at the front door,
Okay.
the front entrance. But they're free to follow us if they please.
One of the Solarians looks over his shoulder and looks down the right-hand passage here. I guess it would be on your left now, but on what's kind of leading towards the right side of the monitor. He looks down that way, and he says, "There's a couple more of us in that room over there. If you can do what you did for the guards, for us in here, we can get them out as well. I take it if you've come this far, the others are either dead or in the same position that we're in."
The other prisoners?
Yeah, the other workers.
The other workers are at the mouth of the cave.
Great. Well, I guess we could go back the way you guys came, but there's a few more of us in the next room over that way. If you're here breaking people out, I bet you they'd be pretty grateful.
Well, we're here to kill the LMD, but you guys can for sure get out of here.
Okay, well, I don't think the four of us. The Krogan steps up. Can it? Let's get them out of here. And he kind of motions for the other three, already kind of like stepping up. The confident, Tork gave him a little bit of a confidence boost, reinvigorated him a little bit. So he kind of motions to the other three. Says, the four of us can handle 2 guards. Once we take one down, there'll be 8 of us in that room. That last one is toast. Let's go.
I wanna address him again and say, my name is Gambok Tork. And you?
I'm Nakmor Carl. But it's been a long time since I used my clan name.
Well, I won't forget it.
I won't forget you, Gambok Tork. You let me be a Krogan again. And he follows the other 3 down the hall.
I'm obsessed with that.
So tight.
And the name is Nakmor, Nakmorkal, Nakmor Call.
Yeah.
Macklemore!
No!
I heard
No,
Carl.
Not
Carl,
Macklemore.
He's gonna
Not
buy some tags.
No.
Nope, not
Way
Nakmor.
more epic
No.
than that.
It's the clan name, and then his action. And then, like,
Macklemore.
identifying name.
God, where's my pen so I can forget that whoever said Macklemore? Mackmore Carl?
It's Nakmor Call, yeah.
Macklemore Carl.
Did you have to make a name for him? Did
It's
you already
Mackle-
have a name for him or no?
Maybe not.
You don't know.
You
Okay.
will never know.
I don't know. I shall not
Macklemore
reveal my.
Carl.
I will decide what secrets I reveal to you.
Alright.
Question:
Yeah.
Does our position give us a better view down those passageways?
Yeah.
Yes, I would say though that the other room. Okay, so the other passageway down here, you see them kind of make their way down. From your position, I would say that you would be able to see. Like they said, there's a few more guys in there, but you would just be able to see these three here. With the wall right here, unless you wanted to move up. There's not going to be much, the wall in this big rock here, there's not going to be much you can do to see kind of around that.
Okay.
But yeah, you'd be able to see down that way. You can see, like, you watch, actually, I would say, depending on how long you guys stay here, you watch the four guys you saw go down there. Two of them unarmed, though they're kind of behind the Krogan, and the other one would be a Solarian who picked up the other rifle. And you see them both, the Krogan especially, kind of lead in, and you hear the gunshots kind of going off a little bit underneath the sound of the mining equipment. And I would say at this point too, because you guys have done a pretty good job of clearing stuff out, the noise has not dramatically decreased because it's still very echoey in here, but there is a noticeable decrease in volume of the machinery at this point.
Okay.
And then too, at this point as well, Alpha or Omega makes his return, kind of like running back, kind of, dog running along, front paws, back legs going. But you see the four workers kind of take the fight to this one LMD guard you see, and he goes down pretty quick. And before long, you're watching them, you see the two other guys. They break them out of their bonds, or they don't have the means to do that. Actually, they don't really have like the Omni tool hardware to do it, but they kind of together, the two of them join the other four, and they all I'll just show you. You can kind of see. So they all would, from up here, they'd all kind of run down out of your line of sight, and you'd hear some more gunshots. But at that point, you can't really see what's going on anymore. So, with all that being said, seems like you guys have cleared out most of this place. There was the remaining large chamber at this point. The mech. Okay, so let me show you the large chamber and what you'd be able to see in there. Again, we're going to get a little loosey-goosey with stuff. But actually, well, you know what? Actually, I have the lighting boundaries actually work pretty good. So in the main room, or the central chamber anyways, that's kind of what you got from where you guys are. You'd see there's you can't see him, but there's the guard with the Baron, and you haven't heard any sounds coming from down the way, but you would also see another trooper, an engineer who has a combat drone that is kind of working away on. There's more light in here too, actually. So sorry, let me show you. You'll be able to see. You're not going to be able to see all of this, but because of the way the lighting works in Ark and Forge, I have to kind of like get a little funny with it. So you don't see everything in here. You don't see the powered down mech up at the top corner there, but you do see a couple of workers. That same trooper engineer, and then there's a combat drone or like a little, not necessarily a combat drone, but a drone that's kind of like hovering around what can only be the Prothean object, because it looks completely different from everything else. It's kind of got this weird, like, tarnished bronze coloration to it. It's kind of gray, brown, with a little bit of bronze in there. It's metallic very clearly. And then
I'm
just
gonna
kind of
touch it.
in little kind of streaks at regular intervals, maybe a foot apart. Well, maybe more than that, maybe like 3 feet apart around it. So the whole thing is probably about 8-10 feet wide. There are these like little, very thin bands of green light that kind of look like they're running upwards. The where this light is moving, the front of it or the top of it is very bright, but the line behind it fades. So like there's this constant like trail of green beads of light kind of like running up the sides in these like maybe inch wide strips about 3 feet apart, kind of look like they might go around the whole thing. Other than that, there's no distinguishing features on it. It just looks like it's like the guy, like the worker said, it's a column or a pillar. It looks like. And I'd say it's probably, if it's 8 feet wide, it's probably like 12 to 15 feet tall.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just looking at it at a distance, and at this point, you guys have probably moved up a little bit. Yeah, just looking in there, you just see a couple of things. You see there's a couple of trooper, an engineer with a drone, this Prothean, presumably this Prothean thing, and then like another couple of guards. But you'd have to get a little closer if you wanted to get a closer look, more detailed look at what's in the room. And you can tell the whole room is lit up as well. And actually, at the very back there's another prefab. That's another thing that would immediately stand out.
Okay.
It is if I can grab this. God, dudes, hitboxes in Arkenforge sometimes are very bad. Not very bad. That's an exaggeration, but sometimes they're weird. There's a prefab back here. Another white, yellow, black LMD prefab like the ones you saw outside.
All right. Well, before we do anything, I'm going to use my metagel.
Okay.
What do I roll for that again?
It's 2d4 plus 2 for the standard metagels.
Why was I paying attention just when he did that?
Lovely.
Yeah, and just in case I hadn't exchanged the clip for when I rolled a 1 before my net went down, I'm going to change it. If I did do it before, I'll do it now.
Okay. Let's see here. What?
Well,
See, at this point, after spending, sorry, Rhea, what you were going to say something?
yeah, but I guess I'd probably have to wait for initiative anyway.
Well, it depends on what you want to do.
Well, I have a sabotage spell that I want to use on the drone.
Sure, yeah. So the drones they're like these round, semi-spherical, like floating hard light constructs. So it's just like this like orb with like kind of pieces spinning and moving around each other, and it just kind of like looks like it's kind of like analyzing stuff. Maybe it's kind of moving around, kind of like.
So it's not. Is it considered like a ranged weapon, or is it not?
Sabotage? Well, there should be a range on the spell.
No. I'm saying, is the drone thing
the
considered
drone?
a ranged
I think that
weapon?
the drone is not a weapon. The drone would be considered
Kind of like a summon.
Well, it's a summon, but there's specific Mass Effect terms for this stuff, and I think what you're looking for is a synthetic, correct?
It's just that the spell is target a ranged weapon you can see within range and sabotage
yes.
its internal systems.
No, this thing does not count as a ranged weapon in
Heard.
itself. No. Yeah, because it's very much like a familiar or a summon kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's more of like an entity than an object.
You are.
At least in terms of the way the mechanics work for it.
Okie doke.
Why are you so tired?
I just had to get up super early.
Okay. So what do you guys want to do?
So the mech is distracting the.
You don't know what the mech is doing at this point, actually, because it's been out of sight for a couple of minutes now.
Okay.
And what I was going to say is actually at this point, as you guys are kind of you spend a minute or two kind of watching things, you see the engineer kind of look up. Well, you don't see him look up. You'd see him kind of look over, kind of in that direction that the mech was coming from, and kind of shake his head and start to move over in that direction.
So if we're gonna move up, we should do it now.
Yup. This is And those tokens are Varens, right?
Yes, the token are Varen. Yeah, they're a little tough to make out, but I can zoom in a little bit more. Well, one token is a Varen. The one here, right by the mech, is a Varen. That's one you can't see, but you know that there was a Varen over that way.
Yeah.
This one is the drone, the one up here by the Prothean object.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a clean advancement on this, so we should just start shooting.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Here we go.
Are we
So-
on initiative or do we have a surprise round?
Well, I mean, you guys haven't taken any actions yet, so you guys have, depends on what you want to do. Just
Yeah. So if there's
Gentleman
anybody
in the
within
middle.
line of sight,
yeah, because you guys we haven't started initiative yet because they have not technically seen you. And actually, go ahead and make stealth checks for me, please, with advantage still, because there is still sound and there's some kind of distraction going on.
17.
17, okay.
23.
23.
18.
14 and 17.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, you guys are pretty hidden. Nobody, even when the engineer kind of turns around and starts running over to deal with whatever he's going to deal with, doesn't see you. You guys are hidden behind a big tall rock there, and it's easy enough to kind of like just press yourselves up against it to stay out of sight when he turns around.
Okay.
can I whisper to Alpha, like, that there are Varen over there and ask if there are any weaknesses that we should pay attention to?
Yes, Varen are very susceptible to bullets and energy blasts.
Heard. Like most humans.
They're vaguely mammalian.
Varens do not have
No.
any special
A
defenses.
fun kind of colloquial name for a Varen is a fish dog.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start running up.
All right,
Run.
Tork
Oh
starts.
my god.
15, 20, 25, 30. You're still running up sort of stealthily, so you haven't like announced your presence yet. What are the rest of you guys doing while Tork runs up?
McGowan's going to move up and take cover behind that corner of ice.
5, 10, let's see, so from here, 5,
Up,
10.
like basically straight up. So like the main wall, not that.
Oh, like here?
But.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay, so
Yeah.
5, 10,
Okay.
15, 20, 25, 30. We'll get you there.
Okay.
McGowan.
Do I have line of sight on anyone?
There you'd have line of sight on the engineer, and then you'd have line of sight on the trooper and the drone.
Okay.
Rhea and Alpha.
Mhm.
What do you guys want to do?
So, I want to move up as well, and cast a cantrip on the drone of tactical scan.
Okay. How's that look for your movement? That's 30 feet right there.
For me? Oh yeah, that's
Yes.
fine.
Okay. Tactical scan. Is this from your visor?
No, this is a combat cantrip.
Oh, sure. Okay, go ahead.
So basically, I scan the drone, and they have to make a deception check against my insight check.
Ooh, okay. That's a natural 1. So,
Well, then, yeah, you lose.
what happens
So,
here?
on a success, you have advantage on attack rolls against the target and score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20. So, yeah, basically, I just have almost like a hunter's mark on that.
So this is a combat cantrip, you said?
Damn
It's a
hunters.
combat cantrip.
Okay,
yes.
yeah. So this is not a tech ability; it's a combat ability. Great. I just want to mark it in my. You have the tactical scan. That's the one you're doing.
Yep.
Okay, great. I just want to bookmark it. Okay. Easy enough. So let me make sure I've got this. Tactical scan. Revealing its weaknesses. On a success, you have advantage on attack rolls against target. You score a critical hit on a roll of a 19 or a 20. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it lasts for 1 minute, or until you successfully use this feature against a different target.
So basically, I just like studied the drone while it did its creepy little movements
Mhm.
thing, and I was like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Like,
I know
weakness.
just how to do it.
Not very good at poker.
Okay, great. So with that in mind, nobody's seen you guys just yet, so
Then for Alpha and Omega,
come on.
Omega will just go through and head towards the nearest cover that gives him line of sight to somebody. And you said is there any cover that's approximately 30 feet away from like one of the guys?
There's stuff that looks like it's
That
probably
chunk
pretty
in front
close.
of us.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
stuff that looks like it's probably close.
Would I be able to reach it with a movement of 40?
20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You can almost, let's see. So you want to get to a piece of cover that's within 30 feet of the enemies.
Yes.
Okay, so with 40 feet of movement, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So you and McGowan are kind of jockeying for space right now, so it depends on if you want to cut in front of McGowan or not.
No, I do not want to cut in front of McGowan.
Okay, so you won't move your full distance, but you'll be kind of like right behind
Bro
him.
has a grenade launcher.
That's fine.
Rather not.
It's got to be the start of the next unofficial turn before I reach there.
Okay.
That's fine.
And then Omega, what is Omega doing?
Well, Omega's Incinerate has a range of like 160 feet, so he's just going to find cover that still gives him line of sight to one of the guys.
Okay, so I think for now, because you guys have not carved into the room, there's a spot by a big rock at the back that should give you line of sight on the engineer and anybody who runs up to reinforce from that position.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so with that in mind, as you guys kind of run up and get into your positions, getting your weapons ready to be unleashed upon the enemy, that is where we will call it a night, because we're at 10 o'clock.
Ow!
We're just shy of 10 o'clock, and I don't want to start a combat.
Yeah, get one round of combat and have to start.
Yeah, it's always more fun to start fresh if we can. So
Yeah.
And to start in combat. That's always fun.
Hell
exactly. So as you guys are kind of running into the room, about to reveal yourselves and open fire, no one has seen you yet, and there's this. We're leaving off in this hair's breadth of time between the calm and the storm, and that's where we'll pick up in 2 weeks.
Dang.
Awesome.
Good session, guys. That was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
That was fun. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone who's been watching.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for bearing with us. We had some surprise technical difficulties today, but that sort of seems like the norm in these times of Zoom things.
In the Zoom times.
Yeah, in the Zoom times. That's a good one. I like that. And hopefully, here in Minnesota, we've got vaccines are rolling out pretty well. So hopefully in the next few months, we'll be able to figure out a way to do this in person with most of us. I mean,
yes, let's do it in person.
Dan is moving over the summer, so we may have to work something out to get all that kind of set up.
Yeah,
but it's
summer too.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you're also moving, but we'll be able to get all this stuff figured out, and I think it'll go great, and hopefully we can meet in person, and it'll minimize. At least some of us can meet in person. The three of us who live here, and minimize some of the technical issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, thank you for stopping by. Check out Bad Luck and Red Herring's YouTube and Twitch channels, and the fun, cool projects they've got going on.
Yes.
And I think we've got those linked.
I built this.
If those things aren't linked in the description below by now, we'll have some. There'll be some words that need to be had. But
oh no, my $5 doesn't work.
Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, guys. It's been a good time. And again, thank you. Thank you much for bearing with us for a bit there. And we'll see everybody in a couple of weeks. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.